from me, Dominicus Ezra, and in this video I'm going to explain about Portuguese rule of Malacca from 1511 to 1641. At the time of the Portuguese arrival in the Asian seas, Malacca, thanks to its strategic position on the strait bearing the same name, was a remarkable trading center for the trade and hunting of spices. At that time, Malacca was ruled by a Muslim sultanate called the Malacca Sultanate, a sultanate that started as a port city-state, who extended its influence over a vast territory, which included most of the Malay Peninsula. For around a century, the Sultanate of Malacca had dominated trade up and down the Strait of Malacca and further afield as well. Its port was frequented by a multitude of ships and merchants from major Asian nations of the time: Arabia, Persia, China, India, Japan, nations from the archipelago, Ceylon, and Bengal. In it were gathered and stored all the important Asian spices: pepper, clove, ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, and etc. The conquest of Malacca was a hugely important event. Malacca wouldn't be out of Europeans' hands for more than 4.5 centuries. The conquest gave Portugal a foothold from which to expand further into the archipelago. Within a year, Portuguese ships were in Banda and Maluku, home of nutmeg and cloves respectively. After their arrival in India, the Portuguese soon became aware of the importance of the Malacca. An expedition sailed to Malacca in 1509 but failed, and many of the Portuguese were captured and imprisoned by the Sultanate. This expedition was led by Diogo Lopes de Sequeira, who was sent to Malacca by the King of Portugal with 4 ships in order to establish contact with the Sultanate of Malacca. Initially, Sequeira was well received by the Sultan of Malacca, Sultan Mahmud Shah. Soon, however, the Tamil Muslim community convinced Mahmud Shah that the Portuguese should be eliminated, based on the Portuguese treatment of Muslims in Goa. Several men were captured and killed, but the ships escaped. In 1511, the Viceroy of India, Alfonso de Albuquerque, decided to organize an expedition this time to conquer Malacca. At the head of 1,200 men and 14 ships, Alfonso de Albuquerque arrived in the view of Malacca in June 1511 and immediately demanded the release of the Portuguese, who were taken prisoners in the 1509 expedition. The Sultan tried to gain time to strengthen the town defenses. He was well aware of the small number of Portuguese troops and was confident of his powerful army of 20,000 men and 2,000 guns. Albuquerque wasted no time. At dawn of 25 July 1511, the Portuguese attacked the town, concentrating the assault on the bridge of the river, dividing the town. After a fierce battle, the bridge was conquered by the Portuguese, but at nightfall they were forced to retreat. After some days of preparation, the Portuguese renewed their attack on 10 August 1511. Albuquerque had the assistance of some Chinese junks offered by the Chinese merchants, which anchored in the port. The use of junks offered by the Chinese merchants was decisive, as these junks were used as a bridgehead. The Chinese merchants helped due to an earlier dispute with the Sultanate, who had seized their junks. This time the attack was successful, and the Portuguese finally succeeded in establishing a bridgehead in the town. Then there were several days of siege, during which the Portuguese bombarded the city. On 24 August 1511, the Portuguese again attacked, only to discover that the Sultan had escaped. Malacca was now in Portuguese hands. They sacked the town and specifically targeted the Arabian community to break the Arabian monopoly of spice trade. But following Albuquerque's order, they respected the property of those who sided with them. In celebration, Tristão da Cunha was sent to Pope Leo X in Rome with rich presents, including that 11 that the Pope named Hanno. When the Malaccan Sultan sent a message to the Emperor of China to ask for help against the Portuguese, the Chinese ordered a tributary state of theirs, the Ayutthaya Kingdom and other neighbors of Malacca, to come to Malacca's aid and fight the Portuguese, and the Chinese demanded that the Portuguese leave Malacca. The Thai refused to comply with the Chinese order, leaving Malacca with no help. The Chinese then blamed the Thai and other neighbors for Malacca's fall, and started the 3 decades persecution of Portuguese in China. Malacca was one of the 3 key points with Goa and Hormuz, which gave Portugal the control of the main Asiatic trade routes. After the conquest, Albuquerque immediately ordered the building of a fortress on the south side of the river. This fortress was called Afamosa, and it was finished in November 1511. Rui de Brito Patalim was appointed captain of the Fortaleza de Malacca, and about 500 Portuguese soldiers were left as garrison. Shortly thereafter, Albuquerque prepared the ships for the return with the booty of Malacca. However, during the return voyage to Goa, his ship Flor do Mar sank during a storm, and all the treasures fetched in the Malacca were lost. After the conquest of Malacca, Portuguese policy on the Malay Peninsula was either to establish alliance with local rulers or to convince the adjoining kingdoms to accept Portuguese suzerainty. From his base at Johor, the old Sultan of Malacca repeatedly attacked Malacca in 1517, 1520, 1521, and 1525. At last, in 1583, a peace treaty was signed. The main enemies were Johor and Aceh. In Malacca, Albuquerque established a new administration, mint a new currency, and built a wooden chapel close to the fortress. Adjoining the fortress, there's a stone church dedicated to Nossa Senhora da Anunciada, which was erected in 1521 and later changed to Nossa Senhora da Assunção. On 4 February 1558, this church was consecrated as a cathedral. The remains of the cathedral is still standing to this day, now known as Church of St. Paul. Many Portuguese casados, also known as Portuguese citizens who marry native women, mostly artisans, merchants, or farmers, settled in Malacca. In 1532, the Confraria de Misericordia was founded, and a beautiful wooden hospital for the poor was also built. The church also started a school. Active missionary work began in 1545 with the arrival of Saint Francisco Xavier. In 1552 was set up the Camara, a municipal council for Malacca. In 1602 to 1603, the Dutch blockaded Malacca by sea, but this was only a first timid attempt. In 1606, Johor and the Dutch concluded an alliance against the Portuguese, and in 1607 they set again the town under siege. Reinforcements from Goa aborted this attempt. In 1629, Aceh made a new great effort, but this time again the Portuguese were victorious. The Dutch made several fruitless attempts between 1603 and 1627, and 1633 a blockade was set up. The last siege of Portuguese Malacca began in June 1640, when a combined Dutch-Johor fleet of 1,500 Dutchmen, 1,500 Malays, 12 Dutch ships, 6 sloops, and 40 Johor vessels were sighted off the Malacca port. The siege was extremely hard, and nearly 1,500 of the besieging force lost their lives. After 5 months of siege, the Portuguese defenders were without gunpowder and with a severe scarcity of food. Despite the difficulties, under the command of Dom Manuel de Sousa Coutinho, who was sick, they were able to hold out the siege. At the time of the Dutch attack in June 1640, there was a garrison of about 50 Portuguese soldiers, more than 300 Portuguese casados with their families, and 2,000 or 3,000 mesticos, with their Eurasian with Portuguese descent, and native inhabitants in Malacca. On 14 January 1641, Dutch commander Willemson Carteco ordered the last desperate assault. The Portuguese defenders met a fierce final resistance in the Fortaleza Verja, and the Dutch were finally driven back. In desperation, the Dutch commander offered to the Portuguese honorable terms of surrender. The brave and dying Portuguese commander accepted the generous terms, dying only 2 days later. He was buried by the Dutch with military honors in the church of São Domingo. The city of Malacca was thus in Portuguese hands from 24 August 1511 till 14 January 1641. And now I'm going to tell about the perspective of the people of Malacca about Portuguese invasion of Malacca. The exact date is unknown, but I believe this was about one of the earliest part of Portuguese invasion in 1511. This passage was taken from Solatu Salatin, also known as Malay Annals, from a part of the book called The Grandeur of Malacca and Arrivals of Portuguese. In that period, the country of Malacca was extremely busy, and the arrivals of immigrants increasingly settled in the villages. It was packed with houses from the Keling, or Malayu for Indian, probably referred to an Indian settlement in Malacca, from the Keling village on over to Kuala Penaju. People coming and going between Malacca and Jugra carried no fire with them, meaning they did not carry anything. Wherever one stopped, there would be village full of people, and from the side over to Batu Pahat, it was the same, because the people of Malacca at the time numbered over 190,000. Well, a Peringhi, or European, ship came from Goa. It did some trading in Malacca, so it was seen by these Peringis that Malacca was exceedingly good. Its port extremely busy. All the Malacca people in the village saw the appearance of these Peringis, and they were all surprised to see them. The Malacca people said, "These are white Bengalis." So dozens of Malacca people crowded around each of those Peringis. Some twisted their beards, some clapped them on their heads, some took their heads, some grasped at their hand. Well, the captain of that ship went up to have an audience with the Bendahara Seri Maharaja, and he was adopted as his child and was presented with a complete set of clothes. The captain paid homage to the Bendahara Sri Maharaja with a gold jeweled chain. He personally put it around the Bendahara's neck. Well, all the people looking on wanted to take offense at the Peringis, but the Bendahara wouldn't let them. He said, "You are angry because there are people who don't know our customs." After the coming of the wind, or probably refers to the season to sail, they were to go, so the ship's captain returned to Goa. The viceroy, or in Melayu it was called Vizurai, was taught the size of Malacca and of its prosperity, and of the business of its port. At that time, the viceroy in Goa was named Apang Sudubirki, also a Melayu for Alfonso de Albuquerque. He was eager to hear news of that country of Malacca, so he ordered 7 ships to be fitted out, 10 galleys long and 13 fustas. After everything was ready, they were ordered to attack Malacca. Gonzalo Pereira, probably refers to Gonzalo Pereira, was the name of the main captain. After they came to Malacca, they fired on it with their cannons. All the Malaccan people was shocked to hear the sounds of the cannons, saying, "What sound is that like thunder?" The guns' bullets struck all the Malaccan people, because at the time the people of Malacca had never seen guns, which is probably wrong because they already have guns. Well, there were some whose necks were severed, some whose heads were split, some split in two at the waist, and some shot in their hands and thighs. The Malacca's people astonishment grew and grew on seeing these bullets, and they said, "What is the name of these round weapons that are sharp enough to kill?" The next day, all the Portuguese came up with their guns, 2,000 in number, with countless other black men, probably refers to Portuguese Indian auxiliary, as their soldiers. They were pushed back by the Malacca people with Tun Hasan Temenggung as their commander. All the Malaccans and all the Peringis came together and they fought in an extremely confused melee, their weapons hitting like heavy rain. Tun Hasan Temenggung, together with the warlord of Malacca, pushed through, and so the Peringis broke off the fight. The fact is, they killed a lot of them and then retreated. The Malacca people rode out together and broke the Peringis, who scattered and dived into the water, pursued by the Malaccans. Well, all the Peringis got into their ships and then sailed back to Goa. Having got to Goa, they related all the events to the viceroy, whereupon the viceroy became extremely angry, so he ordered to equip again to attack Malacca. The Capital Mor, or Capitan Major, said, "In our view, if the Bendahara Sri Maharaja is still there, no matter how large the Goan fleet attacks, Malacca will not be defeated." So Albuquerque said, "Why do you talk like that? What option do I have, since I'm unable to leave Goa? But when I've stepped down as viceroy, I will go to attack Malacca myself, and you will see if it isn't defeated." But he made no preparation to attack Malacca at that period of time. And that is the end of this video. Muito obrigado por assistir.